Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Walker Hayes, and you're listening to Like a Farmer.
All right, y'all. Pat here. Welcome to another episode of Like a Farmer, powered by AgAmerica Media. I really don't even have to introduce my next guest here. If you've watched any type of national television, you've heard his song Fancy Like. Woo! Mr. Walker Hayes. Walker, thanks for coming on the show today, man.
Thanks for having me, Pat.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers. Let's go.
I just want to start right off the bat. You know, we play a couple games on this show.
Okay.
I want to play my first game called Cut the Tension, presented by Case Knives, okay?
Okay.
We're going to cut the tension. And what I mean by that is, like, just right off the bat.
Oh, shit.
And I'm assuming when you think about your music career and what I just mentioned, like, it doesn't matter if you like country music or whatever type of country music you like.
Right.
Fancy Like, straight to the moon. Like, when you put that song out, what were your expectations for the song? And then after you saw it just get played everywhere, it's in an Applebee's commercial. Like, tell me about how that even went down. Yeah,
I mean, man, honestly, we're probably like 17 years in to this songwriting thing when I wrote that song. Oddly enough, not lying to you here, I was pretty cocky about that song. I had no reason to expect that after 1,000+ songs that all of a sudden I was going to blow up. I mean, 6 kids, I'm 100% dadderific. We're in COVID. I've been living in my pajama pants. Nothing cool about me. Not one thing from top to bottom where you're like, that has swag, you know? And, but I wrote this song and all I did was love it. I mean, loved it. Loved writing it that day. I loved laying it down at home. I mean, I laid those vocals down, that acoustic at home immediately.
Were you the only writer on that song?
No. Heck no. Dude, if I was, I'd have flown in on a private jet.
No kidding,
I have to share it with 3 other writers, Josh Jenkins, Cambo Bartolini, and Shane Stevens.
Shout out Josh, and
Cambo,
Shane.
Let's go. And but man, we had a great time, and I remember sending it to my producer, Joe. I sent him the foundation, just the acoustic guitar, nylon string with me singing it. And he put that 808, that we fancy like, you know. And listen, I was at my dad's house. My dad was dying. And I was at his house taking care of him. And I remember putting on headphones the first time. And my face physically, when it said, hey, yeah, we fancy like, when it did that, I was like, I mean, I'm feeling it now, just talking about it. And I took it to each of my kids and I played it right at that moment. And I watched their faces. They were like, oh, you know, they had never heard anything like that hit. And the word Applebee's, you know? And so I just knew I think we had one show. We had one show that was really just for publicity. And I remember getting on stage, and this is just me being goofy. I was like, this song, I'm about to play y'all the jam. You know, this song's coming out. It's going to go 4 times platinum. I don't remember what I said. They have it on video, but I just called it. Did not believe what I was saying. I was just having fun with the crowd. And I really was. I could not wait for the world to have that jam. I didn't know it was about to do what it was going to do, but man, I loved it. I mean, I cranked it like it wasn't even my song, you know. And then we put it out. It was really it was out for 3 days, I think, before my daughter and I did a dance. And I'm talking about overnight, absolutely overnight. Never seen or felt anything.
So like you mean to tell me the dance that your daughter and you did is that the viral TikTok dance?
That's it. Are
you kidding me?
No, I was over COVID. My manager Marissa, she said, "Hey, there's this thing called TikTok. I think it's going to be a pretty big social platform. Just try it out, have some fun." When I got it, my daughter goes, "Hey, I know what that is. You know, people do dances and stuff. You want to do those with me?" I had nothing else to do over COVID. I didn't have a show for 400 days. And so with my daughter, you know, every 2 or 3 days, I would just learn a trendy dance with her. We had like 9 followers. You know, I had nobody was following me on TikTok. And but that night, man, we dropped that dance off our porch. My wife took 2 videos posted one. We made it up that afternoon, and that was it. I mean, that changed. That made it so I can provide for my kids, whereas I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't. For 17 years of doing music, I couldn't pay the bills. And then that song came out, and everything changed. It was crazy.
That's unbelievable.
I know.
I want to hit everybody listening here. We're talking about 6 months, #1, Grammy nominated, over 350 million streams on Spotify, and over 158, 59 million video views on YouTube.
Yeah. Bonkers.
Unbelievable.
I know.
Can you help me out on the finance realm of, and go as deep as you want to on the and anything country music? And excuse me for being naive.
No.
Because you say financially this changed your life. Like, what is that, like, how much money does that type of song just arrange, like, bring in? And, like, how does it work? Like, when it, you don't have to give me the exact number, but I'm just curious, like, in country music, like, how, like, is it life-changing? Is it, like, do you ever have to sing another song after? Because I want to dig into, like, okay, you're playing on national television.
Yeah.
I want to say Applebee's even used the damn song, so I'm sure there's some sort of, monetization there. Like, I want to know the ins and outs of the business of that song.
Unfortunately, and I think I'm not speaking out of turn, the way the music business is now, there's fewer people on the top, just raking it. There's not a lot of middle. There's a lot of people starving. You have to have a substantial song to feed a family as a writer now. The streaming thing, writers are not, you can't feed a family with a lot of streams, which is really sad for songwriters. As a performer, give you an idea, had a 30-year mortgage that I was really, really afraid of paying monthly, was able to buy my house immediately. So tears, I mean, I don't even think you can fathom how this is like, I'm telling you, there was a time where our financial people, they were prepared, and we knew them because I was a musician, and we were hoping one day we would make it and have some royalties. And they would say, it would be January, and they'd say, hey, you're okay. You're going to run out of money in March. So they'd say you have 2 months. Me and my wife would be like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you that we have 2 months. We'd party. We'd go to Chuck E. Cheese. We felt rich knowing that I could pay the bills. No extra stuff. Pay our bills for 2 months. So and we did that for 17 years. So it wasn't, we weren't like miserable in it or frightened. That's just what we knew. So to go into a financial meeting 3 months after that song came out, and my financial people they literally nonchalantly said, do you want to pay for your house? And I went, can we? And we cried. I mean, my wife and I cried at the table. And I know from the outside, if you don't like the song, you don't really appreciate it, you're like, that's got to be amazing. You still have to be amazed. After a guy, again, I told you 1,000+ songs, and I write one where I literally just said my order at Applebee's, threw an 808 in it, and all of a sudden my 6 kids, they could probably go to college now. I'll probably have work until I can't even walk anymore. I'll have shows to play. I'll write other songs, obviously. I've got a fancy like beer. Applebee's is probably, they're bound to call me again and go, hey, can we use it in that commercial? So for me, life-changing, just a huge relief from the Lord financially. But with that, all my problems aren't solved. That was an immediate lesson that, okay, you can pay your bills. Everything you ever wanted musically came true. There was also the dimness, the darkness of waking up and going, well, now what do I do with me? I thought I'd feel way cooler. I thought I'd feel better. I thought I'd feel almost the feeling of crossing some sort of finish line, but in some way, form, or fashion, it feels like I just started the race, and you're like, I'm tired. You know what I mean? So there were a lot of those things happened too. But the song, it's crazy, man. Even like I fly to Austin tonight to go play the rodeo tomorrow. And every night I'm like, oh, I like this song. This song's cool. Oh, dude, I love this song. Y'all have fun with this song. But when I get to Fancy Like every night at one moment, I think, this is a twanger. Like there is something about this song that I don't know if I'll ever do it again, in a song.
And you might not. Look, you've got a bunch of cool stuff coming down the pipeline. I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm sitting here today to give you your flowers. Like, you got it done. And not a lot of people go their whole career and have great country music careers and never have that song. You had it.
Yeah.
You had it. Everybody sings it. I can go talk to 50 people on Broadway right now and start out Fancy Like, and everybody can sing it because if you watch TV, you heard it.
Yeah.
And kudos to you.
Thanks, man. Well, I'm happy to be a part of it. It's very cool to, I think of things like with my daughter, Lord willing, I'm 80 years old one day and she's got a kid, and her maybe her kids will be like, what was growing up like? And Leela can be like, well, we did this dance one time, and it blew up the earth, so that's to me, that's what that's all about. But it's very cool to think that, I'm gonna die and that song will probably outlive me, by many, many years.
It will.
It'll show up. Maybe somebody will rap on it.
Think about the songs that we sing today.
Right.
Whether it was Jones or Cash or whoever that have passed that they still sing. I want to reiterate this so everybody listening hears this. Co-writer sang and did the damn dance. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I just assumed one of these TikTok people had created the dance. Like, it was you and your daughter who created the dance. So I'd like to note that. So my editor, Aria, please, when we get to this part, I want you to, the millions of people that have done that on TikTok, that's cool.
It's
that
awesome.
alone is something to be proud of.
That's fun.
Let's back up a little bit. You grew up in the state of Tennessee.
No, Mobile.
Mobile,
Alabama.
Okay, so tell me how that was.
It was cool, man. Both of my parents both had 4 kids apiece with previous marriages. They got married and had me. So I was the last of 9, but in a very true sense, I felt like an only kid with extra parents, And I was super bad, terrible kid. Got in trouble a lot. That was like my identity, I guess, was just getting in trouble. I grew up in a very just churchy household. I mean, we were in church when the doors were open, so I hated that. Couldn't wait to get out of the shadow of that. But yeah, loved sports. Some of my older brothers were great athletes, so just try to find an identity there. But man, honestly, the greatest thing about my childhood was I met Lainey when I was 16. We went to a monster truck show, and that was that. So I found my soulmate, for lack of a better term, and have been with her basically ever since.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's where I peaked.
You are a dad first, no matter what you do, and I've got a great team who has educated me on who Walker Hayes is. But as a fan of you, and hell, growing up in a single mom household like I did, it's really cool to see how you are a dad first, and I can't wait to talk about that. But as you were growing up, when did you know like country music was even a thing?
Not in my childhood at all. As a matter of fact, I made fun of country music because my mom listened to it, and I was like, turn the watermelon crawl stuff off. Like, this sucks.
Speaking of which, another banger that has long lived its time.
Which I now appreciate. But I remember we driving to the beach, and it'd be like, give me that wink. And I was like, whatever, dude. I was like, this is mom music. And now I'm writing it. But no, I was late to the musical party. My dad heard me goofing off, just basically like imitating people at my house for fun after college. And I was engaged, and he signed me up to play at a bar in Mobile. And he was like, hey, you need to do that thing that you do at home in this bar. And I was mad at my dad for doing that. I was like super scared to get up in front of people and sing. And but I agreed to do it, and I played a couple songs at this bar off DIP, and I loved it. They gave me 2 free Michelob Ultras, and no one listened. Like even to the point where when I was done with a song, no one would even clap. But I loved it. I loved it so much. And I called my fiance at the time and said, "Hey, dude, I just had a blast. What do you think about moving to Nashville?" And she was like, "Let's go." So I kid you not, had lived in Birmingham for 4 years, because that's where I went to college, Birmingham Southern. I had no idea you could get paid, which is fascinating to me. I only lived 3 hours from Nashville, but I had no idea in 2004 that you could get offered money to just write songs every day. Had not written a song. The week after we got to Nashville, we got married on June 12th, drove up to Nashville, got an apartment, and my wife and I went to the Bluebird. I showed up to play at the Bluebird with 2 covers. Halfway through the show, before they called my name, I realized that they were all singing songs they wrote. And so I left before they called my name and came back the next Monday, open mic, and wrote 2 songs and sang them. Those were the first 2 songs I wrote. And they were terrible. But people laughed. I'm sure they were funny, and I began writing then. So it was 2004 when I wrote my first country song. Kind of dove in, as soon as I got here, I dove into the lyricism. Honestly, I started listening to, I would meet people and I would find these things called comps. And for everybody who doesn't know what that is, there's publishing companies all over Music Row, and they've had writers signed there for 30, 40, 50 years, and they have vaults full of songs that famous people have not cut, and they will rip your heart out. So if you go ask for a comp from any publisher in town, they'll give you 10 songs that they'll make you want to move home if you want to write, because you'll think these are 10 songs that no one wanted to sing. It'll just blow your mind. So I would just dive through those over and over, listening to those comps and trying to teach myself how to write. And I landed my first pub deal about exactly 1 year after being here.
Hey, y'all, it's Pat here. I got something to say. Reading is the single most important skill a child needs. Yet, 25 million children in the U.S. can't even read proficiently, which prevents them from achieving success in school, participating in all areas of life, and realizing their own dreams. But this is a solvable problem, and I'm going to tell you why. Ending children's literacy crisis in America is the heart and soul of one of my favorite nonprofits, Bernie's Book Bank. You want to know what their mission is? It's to deliver enough free, high-quality books to help children build their own at-home library. They do this with a passionate collective of volunteers and partners who believe no child should be hungry for food or knowledge. Since 2009, they've distributed over 28 million free, high-quality books across Chicagoland and the greater Milwaukee area. And they're not stopping, I'm telling you. They're not stopping until every child who needs a book has them. You want to know what their next chapter even is? They're coming to my state, the Sunshine State, the great state of Florida, where they plan to serve all qualifying children throughout 12 different counties. If you want to empower future leaders, you need to support today's readers. You can help by contributing to their efforts. To learn more about ways to get involved and to donate, visit berniesbookbank.org. Hey y'all, it's Pat with Like a Farmer. Are you looking to add some local flavors to your recipes? Well, visit freshfromflorida.com today, where you can browse hundreds of delicious recipes that bring Florida freshness to your table all year round. Become a Fresh from Florida member for free and create your own menus. Save and send your favorite dishes and get exclusive access to monthly newsletters packed with fresh local recipes. I can promise you, you will be a favorite in your neighborhood. From the Florida fields to your fork, year-round freshness and flavor are just a logo away. Fresh from Florida, there's a sunshine in every bite. Hey y'all, today's episode is brought to you by AgAmerica, your go-to financial partner for all things agriculture. As the largest independent financial firm dedicated to rural America, AgAmerica is changing the game when it comes to ag lending and leveling up finance options for farmers, ranchers, and landowners across the nation. And I'll let you know a little secret. The thing that sets this company apart from the rest is the people. They understand firsthand the unique needs of American farmers and ranchers because many of them grew up on farms themselves. They take a farmer-focused approach to finance, prioritizing relationships over transactions to help you build a stronger financial foundation for you and your family. So whether you're looking to buy land or secure working capital, AgAmerica has your back. Visit agamerica.com today to learn more and see how they can help you achieve long-term financial success. Because when farmers thrive, we all do. That's an unbelievable story. So you moved to Nashville in 2004. And before we move back, hold on, Alabama.
Keep going.
Assuming, hopefully, with the storms that have been coming through Alabama, everybody's
fine. Yeah, thanks for asking.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, everybody's good. It's crazy, though. The whole alley
it's crazy.
Shift or whatever.
And I want to hit on that and how we can go down a rabbit hole. Like, not a lot of people, you turn on the news and there's so much other stuff people are talking about these days. Nobody really hits on what's going on in rural America. There's a bunch of the stuff going on in Oklahoma. You've got what's going on in the South and the Delta, like in Alabama. So I just wanted to make sure that was good. 2004, you moved to Nashville. They call, obviously, they call it the 10-year talent. But at what point, you've been doing it a long time. And not that, let me just back up and be very clear. It's not like fancy is what made Walker Hayes shoot to the moon. I think it obviously
is.
It helped, but you don't, I want to not discredit the fact that you've been doing this a long time and doing it at a high level. But at what point did you say, damn, I actually think I can do this?
I'm not that smart. So, I think a smarter person probably would have just gone and done something else, many, many times. I mean, the humiliation we faced it would be an awesome movie. I mean, I've been dropped by 3 labels. I've had 4 pub deals. I've been said no to more than anyone. I've had more almost, for me, the passion is songwriting. I'd give anything if just the Morgan Wallens, the Luke Combs, the Luke Bryans, the Darius Ruckers, the Lady Annabelle, I would give anything if they would just sing my song. I just would love to stay home and write songs because that's all I want to do when I wake up is write and share it, and I'd love for somebody to cut it. And I've had Colt Ford has cut some of my stuff. Jake Owen has cut some of my stuff. Rodney Atkins, he was one of the first pretty decent sized artists to believe in my stuff. And so that was the dream. But I mean, no. I mean, we'd have so many almost that we thought, hey, this is my foot finally into that, where people go, oh, Walker, yeah, he wrote that thing, let's get him in some more rights. That just never happened to me. But yeah, man, I mean, I've worked at Costco, looked eye to eye with executives that I had worked with previously, and been ashamed, been like, yeah, I know, it's sad, it's weird. I'm still here. I'm stocking produce. You're still in the biz. I didn't go away. Probably should have. How you doing? Have a good Wednesday. Here's your strawberries. We've done that. The way I got hired at Costco, I was playing a show at Puckett's Grocery, and a kid came up. He wanted my autograph. I said, bro, where you work? He said, I work in the tire center at Costco. I said, I'll give you my autograph if you'll tell the supervisor that I need a night job. I want to work at night so I can still write during the day. I mean, bro,
that's how you got your job
at Costco. That's how I got a job at Costco. I mean, I would like to think that I would have could have gone and filled out a resume, but I was hired quick, and that's actually what paid for our 6th kid. I mean, Lainey was pregnant with our 6th kid, and I had no idea. We had no insurance, had no idea how we're going to pay those bills. And so I got signed up with Costco really fast and began working. Not to mention, I got the black card, baby. So yeah, but no, man, we have, from a distance, no animosity whatsoever to my family or Laney's family, I understand completely their concern, but that's all it was, for 15 years was concern, maybe a little on the critical side. What are y'all doing? Every time we called, we were pregnant. We never had good news. From the outside, you would have looked at me and asked what you just said. Why on earth did you keep doing what you were doing? And really the only answer I have to say is I just love it. I just love it. I would sit in the parking lot of Costco and go, I would love a new dream. Just give me a new dream. This dream's stupid. This dream's making me look like an idiot. And then I would write a song idea on a styrofoam cup about it, and it just, I'm physically eat up with songwriting. And I love that. And I consider that a gift from God, because not everybody wakes up with that undeniable, I'm going to do this. You could slap me in the face. You could say no. You can laugh at me. You can make fun of me. You can do all that stuff. But you know what I'm going to do tomorrow? I'm going to get up and write another song. And just maybe it might be the Applebee song.
Might be a hit. So did you ever think about when you wrote Applebee's song that it would, maybe somebody else would sing it? Or did you know right off the rip, like, this is mine?
Honestly, I didn't even, I'm looking at my people, because I would dare say, I think most of my songs, if my company says, can we pitch this? My answer is yes. And I'll say, just honestly, this isn't self-deprecating humor. I just kind of look at me and go, there's a lot of stars out there. I'm just me. I'm just a dad. Like, I don't feel like I'm Mr. like show up at the CMA award, do the red carpet and some Lucchese guy. I'm just me. Like, I'm basically in khakis today, and I don't care. But but when I finished Fancy Like, I took on the role of I wasn't about to let anybody else cut that. I didn't really care if anybody. I didn't care to pitch it. And as a matter of fact, I had an EP that was supposed to have 5 songs, and it became 6 last minute because of Fancy Like. So it kind of squeaked in there. Yeah, I know.
6 months is number 1.
It's crazy. I know.
That's unbelievable. Even sitting here today, like, you've got such a great story, but like, that was a hit.
Is banger, just certified banger. Even now, when I hear, I was telling you earlier,
dude, on the boat, like, what jam?
Like,
me and you actually need to collab, because summertime is coming up.
Let's go.
As in, like, a boat playlist, because we would both put Fancy Like as number 1
on there.
Number 2, Morgan's got some jams up there.
Yeah.
Luke Bryan with all of his, the spring break albums that he would put out. But that'd be a cool little thing to do.
I know, a boat playlist.
What would be your top 5, like, boat songs right now?
Right this second, I'm going to get some hate, but I'm going to go with Oil Money. That's my new jam.
Great.
That's
my boy.
I don't care what anybody says. She got a body like oil money. Yes, that's summertime in a nutshell for me. I'm gonna throw AA on there for myself. I throw AA Fancy Like on there. I'm trying to think of a new. Sabrina Carpenter's got some bops I've been playing, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of a summer one. Leela, dude, I got a new one that I love that Leela played me last night. She's my 19-year-old daughter. Dude named Maddox.
Yes.
I don't like her anymore. I don't know what but yeah, it's it's popping off.
Maddox back. Yeah. I think he actually might be coming on a show on Thursday.
Dude,
I love that kid.
You tell him we need to collab. But look, dude,
I love that kid, man.
I'm into that song.
I'm hitting my playlist right now too.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what's we also listen to Blueberry Fago. That's like a rap song that we get down on. I'm trying to think. We got that Shabuzi always. Summertime. And we got some Alan Jackson's on Tim's Ford Lake, so I'm always Chattahoocheeing up and down.
Alan Jackson's my number 1 of all time.
Yeah, dude, the greatest.
I go, like, if somebody said, all right, Pat, 3 artists of all time, he got Alan Jackson, Notorious B.I.G.
Oh my God, do you want to ride?
And then Jimmy Buffett.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. He's from Mobile.
Yep.
This is my first concert.
R.I.P. by
First
the way,
concert.
but he was one of the best concerts.
He was insane.
I mean, believe it or not, I think that might have been
How
the
old are
first
you?
time. 32.
Okay.
That was probably the first place that I ever saw, my first set of boobs. Was at a Jimmy Buffett concert.
I don't know.
You didn't know where that was going.
I didn't see it going there. No, it was funny. I went to a Jimmy Buffett concert in Pensacola. I didn't see any boobs, but I got kicked out. I got kicked out for underage drinking, and I remember it was his Fins tour. Yeah. And I remember sitting on this is cool, fun, full circle moment that I don't think most people get to experience. I was 13. I had a Thirst Buster beer with my arms were skinnier than they are now, and this security guard was like out, kicked me out, and me and a girl sat on a park bench outside, and I played that place. I headlined it 2 years ago, and I saw that park bench is still there. Yeah, crazy. And I was like, whoa. I was like, this nuts that I had no idea in life that I would be back here, playing a show. But dude, I love Jimmy Buffett. That's it. There's a guy who I think his deep stuff, he's one of the best writers of all time, but everybody's like, oh, he's in, the cheeseburger paradise, I'm Margaritaville. But yeah, man, that's funny. Kindred spirit. I love Jimmy Buffett. Yeah.
Well, let me talk about, because you're very open about, like, hey, Pat, other than, fancy, like, obviously change your whole mindset, especially financially. And I go back to, like, you truly are a dad first. You're a family man. Yeah. I love that about you. Like, that's my number one. Like, if somebody said, what do you think about Walker Hayes? I'm like, dude, he's a dad.
Yeah.
Like, 100%. He's a dad, and he takes pride in that. 6 kids.
Yeah.
How do you even, like, going into a relationship, you and Lainey, who seems to be, like, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Is it 6, like, we're going to have a bunch of kids growing up? Did you want to be, like, part of a big family? You obviously came from one of 9 kids. But.
Yeah, Lainey and I aren't, like, long-term planners. I think we both would have said 3 or 4, But, man, we just got here, and, life's been tough on us. Like, it's by no means, you say you look at Lainey and I, and it's unbelievable. Well, that's because the camera's not on when it's not. We're crazy. We drop F-bombs. We yell. The kids hear it. I screw up as a dad a lot. I made huge mistakes with my kid. I'm 20 years old or something. I'm 25 with our first kids. I think we had like 3.5 by the time I was 30. So I was not a great dad. I think COVID brought me home and began to shape me, I think, into what people see. And obviously I'm glad. I appreciate people saying, oh, you're a dad. I've made a lot of mistakes to get to where I am, and I have a lot more to make and a lot of wisdom to gain. But I do not care really about a lot of other stuff. I love the Lord, and He is first. And then I love my wife and kids. And that doesn't mean, I don't mean that as in like I wake up with this like superhuman love for my wife and kids. I make them cry. I piss them off. They piss me off. I get annoyed. Those are my priorities right there. And that's it. That's really it. The rest of the stuff, whatever, it's fun and all, especially now. I think I made a lot of mistakes by caring too much about work or maybe succeeding one day. But it's cool to go on these podcasts now as someone who's tasted all the world has to offer. But also we've lost a kid. I've lost a kid. So I've seen the bookends of life. If it gets much sadder than that, that's going to suck. But I don't know if it could get really better than going to the Grammys with your wife, as far as what the world has to give you. But after seeing all that, what I hold dearest to me is the Lord and my kids and my wife. And again, I screw that up every single day, all the time, and wake up and just try to do that again, better the next day. But that's definitely, the joy comes from the Lord, and I feel just truly blessed to have the family that I do have. And I was actually just on the way in. My daughter was expecting me to meet her for some she's in cosmetology school, and she got me hooked on this gas station's fruit tea and their they're like wedges. And I was supposed to meet her today, and I freaking forgot. And I was like, bad dad problems. I was like, my bad.
I gotta go on like a farmer.
Yeah, I was like, I got this podcast. And she said, it's no big deal. And I was like, you're so forgiving. I was like, thank you. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Dude, it does, man. In
some way.
You've been somewhat vocal about it for sure. My mom had to bury a child before, and I hope it's something that you don't wish that on your worst enemy. But I know that things like that happen, and we talk about it on the show all the time. It's like this adversity piece of just life in general, of having to deal with stuff like that, and you could sulk and sulk and sulk, but at the end of the day, it seems like as a dad and as a husband, you have to be there for other people too, and I respect that. I really do.
Yeah, man. I mean, my wife, that if there's a couple things that we've done that has almost made us get divorced, and it's losing a kid, it's becoming famous, and it's building a house. And I wouldn't wish any of those on anybody. So honestly, those are the three hardest things we've ever done. Being poor was chump change compared to those three. It was so easy. Having money, different ballgame. You're like, what was these Amazon boxes? And you're like, it's my money, it's your money. Do you make money? And you're getting all these fights. And but yeah, those three things, man, challenged us more than anything. I can't wait. I mean, we're 45. Let's see, average life expectancy, 75, 80, I guess. We'll probably see something else.
I feel like for a male, it's is male 82?
Maybe.
Or female 82?
I feel like
females are obviously
82.
Older. Yeah. So we might be in our 70s. Shit. I'm so like, it's unbelievable. I'm going to continue to go back to Fancy Like throughout this whole interview.
That's fine.
What was the first thing that you bought, like when that Fancy Like paycheck came?
Just paid the house off. And I know
if you were like, dude, I'm going and buying a.
No, we're honestly, thank God, I'm not I don't like stuff. I mean, we spend on like guns, or we have a gym in our new house. Like we're not like car people. We have a boat deal, so that's nice. And with Moonbow, we love their boats, and we kind of do a partnership thing. But no, we haven't. Like,
did that come after Fancy Like that boat deal?
Yeah. I didn't ever get. What's
the
funny?
Best boat song in the world,
for
man.
17 years, you never get anything for free. And then when you get famous, man, everybody's like, here's my hat, here's my shirt, here's my shoes, you want a boat, and you're like, whoa. And you love, I mean, they're very, very kind. And
did you get a type of Applebee's deal from that?
Dude, we got a gold card. I don't get it anymore, but I had a gold card.
What does that mean? You just...
Yeah, you just let it, we would take turns, let the kids drop it on the table. And it was like a gold card, and it basically like they just loaded it up every month, and we just got Applebee's. Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Hands down one of my most solid achievements.
Dude, we got an Applebee's back home.
Yeah.
In Polk County.
Uh-huh.
It's like karaoke on Thursday nights. That place is bumping, man. I'm telling you.
Well, we haven't been in a while because, for a minute there, when we walked in, people would be like, it's the guy, and it would get crazy. But now it's settled down. But we have one I live in Estill Springs. We have one in Tullahoma. So it's the same. Yeah. Like very family, local stuff on the wall. It's cool.
Yeah. So before we turn the cameras on, man, because I think this is an interesting story. You're going out on the road with Brad Paisley.
Yeah.
Shout out that
Crazy.
dude. Dude's been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
You open in Red Rocks May
24th.
May 24th. Red Rocks, Brad Paisley.
Yeah.
You had mentioned you had been to Red Rocks.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
How incredible and like spiritual and
Yeah.
just like
yeah,
in that
not
place.
and this is coming from, I'm not a big venue guy. You know, I'm not my band and they're a different breed. You know, they're like, check out the pickup on this guitar, you know, and I'm like, man, I don't care, you know, and the same with venues, you know, people be like, you're playing the Greek, Elvis Presley played here, you know, and I'm like, whatever, bro. A stage is a stage. Are there people here, you know? But Red Rocks just blasted me in the face with, I mean, dude, feeling just like. When I took the stage, I remember watching the openers from side stage, and it began to dawn on me, wait, this is just something different happens here. I mean, it's different. Well, A of all, for the openers, it's wall to wall. I mean, everybody was already there. There were 10,000. And I was like, I didn't know Nicole Gallion was that cool. She is so cool. But I was like, openers don't usually just get, you know, it's right. I'm like, oh, she got a lot of fans here. But, you know, it's just that venue is such a great draw. But yeah, man, spiritual is the only way I know how to describe it. It's nighttime. I mean, you feel closer to the stars. You're out there, and it's between. I mean, literally the stage and the audience is 10,000 just right up in your face, and then these massive boulders. They're larger than life. I mean, they're huge, and almost like that Pink Floyd cover. You know, it's like that, and you're like. You just start thinking, you're like, is like a ghost of a like native gonna walk up on the thing and start singing Applebee's? You know, it's just really, it's spiritual. I mean, it's crazy. And the green rooms, they're not walls, like they're like cave walls. You know, my kids were climbing up in the.
So it's
cave.
like a legitimate cave.
Totally. They left, I guess, as much natural there as they did. The acoustics are crazy. The sound is amazing, and the energy, it's just like, I think even the fans feel what I'm talking about. And I don't think you could probably go there and hear someone you've never heard of, and it would almost be like cheating. Like, you would be like, I love that band, but you might not. You just saw them at Red Rocks, you know, so you just saw the stuff, you know. Yeah, it's if anybody, if you're a avid concert goer, it's a must. It will kind of spoil you, you know. And so I love Red Rocks. I love the Wharf down in Gulf Shores. I love Guilford, New Hampshire, of all places. There's a couple places that I've grown to really appreciate. The Ryman, pretty sick, but nothing really. Dude, there's nothing like no.
And you ask anybody, they'd say the same thing. You've headlined a bunch, obviously. I mean, when it comes to, you know, Paisley going on his tour, what are some other just awesome tours that you've been on?
One of the first people to take me out. I mean, honestly, the first tour I ever made money on was Bobby Bones comedy. And I opened with a loop. I just played with a loop, and I would build beats on a loop, and I'd play about 6 to 8 songs a night. And that was with You Broke Up With Me. So like my first kind of, you know, tune that caught fire. It's my second tour. Praise God for these people, Dan and Shay. They took me out. Humbling, because I remember showing up at soundcheck and hearing Shay sing. And I was like, dude, I got to open for this every night. Like, what you know, it was crazy.
Dude, Shay might have one of the most beautiful.
And it doesn't stop. I mean, right when you think, oh, that's the peak note, like we're gonna get, you're like, oh my God, it keeps going. And then Thomas Rhett was kind enough to take me out. I opened for him in Old Dominion. I've opened for Jake a bunch. I mean, man, we've been blessed. We opened for Nickelback in Vancouver. Sick to meet them. Opened for Lil Wayne in Tuscaloosa a while back. That was pretty. I mean, the places we found ourselves a couple times, we're like, I don't fit in here, but this is great. There was one night. Man, I grew up on this. This is one of the best albums. Jason Mraz had just popped. Maroon 5. Yep. Opened for them at the golf. What was that golf? Arizona.
Oh, yeah. The Waste Management Open.
Yes.
Yeah.
The show spun. Or the stage. I mean, we have, man, as far as like the crazy shows which is funny because my band is the same band that played with me at Puckett's, Walker Wednesdays. And so, man, when I'm turning around looking at those guys, sometimes we're like ear to ear, like, oh my God, I can't believe. Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that leads into another game I play. So I got a game.
Okay.
It's called Beer Thoughts, presented by Outlaw Beer.
Okay.
All right. And what
Outlaw Beer, let's go.
Yep. And what Beer Thoughts is Beer Thoughts are like what I do, have a cold beer, and I just sit back and like you think about just stuff going on. And you just mentioned Nickelback.
Oh, yeah.
And shout out Nickelback. I went to, I guess it was 2 years ago, maybe last year, they were on tour to the co-headlining with BG, with Brantley Gilbert.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I just saw them at the Waste Management in Phoenix. Like,
yeah.
It's so cool to see these types of people just coming back and just having like a resurgence in music. But country music is changing every single day.
All the time, yeah.
Posty, Beyonce, Big X The Plug.
Yeah.
Is coming out with a country album. Like, what are your thoughts on like this new people coming into country music? Because the way I look at it and why I like doing this show, you know, there's a lifestyle that I love celebrating. Going outdoors, learning how to hunt, fish, wearing cowboy boots, driving pickup trucks. Like, I love people wanting to come into this lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about the country music genre just ever changing?
You know, I'm glad it changes. I'm really grateful it changes just because a lot of times I feel like an outcast because I'm not one to, all right, all the things you just described, love them too. I don't wear them like a badge. That's not the only life I live. I love to hunt and I love to fish. I also love to play the crap out of Rocket League, you know, with my 17-year-old son, and it's badass and it's fun. And so I as far as like the people coming in, I don't really care. I'm not territorial. If they want in, I get it. It's freaking awesome. You know, it's like when I bring people to where I live in Estill Springs who live in a cookie cutter neighborhood. I'm like, yeah, now you see why I live here, you know, because we just pulled out our bows and had target practice and there goes a squirrel, shoot it. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah, exactly,
you can't do that in your neighborhood. And your neighborhood's cool. Congrats. You know, you got friends and you got a neighborhood pool and all that. Good for you, you know. But like I said, I think I'm not territorial. I like music that's on the fringe. I'm a sucker for an 808. Not a lot of that in like Waylon or Merle, you know, and I get it. I mean, I love David Allan Coe, and I wish somebody would do a remix of his songs because I like his old stuff, but it'd probably slap, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm all for it, man. The more the merrier. I just love music. You know, you saying the boat thing, I'm reminded that's where I live, man. I mean, that's where my heart. I love boat music, dude. If it's like, honestly, that's where kind of in the summer, that's where I listen to mixes or anything, and I'm like, if it feels good out here, I'm good. I sign off. I'm done. This is it. Let's go. Put it on the album. Move on to the next song.
Dude, I'm telling you, after we're done, I'm going to get with your team. And summer's coming up, and Pat and Walker are going to have a boat summer playlist, and it's going to change every week, and it's going to be epic.
Yeah, but I'm not, you know, as far as like I know there are some people who are sensitive, and they're like, this isn't this. And
it's not real country. Yeah, I
don't really care. And again, I have to say, you know, I started, like I told you on this podcast, I just closed it. I thought country music was corny when I was a kid, and I didn't want no part of it. You said Notorious B.I.G., Tupac, Outkast. That was my, you know, Coolio. That's what I listened to, you know, growing up. And so it took me a while to appreciate, you know, that country western music. You know,
dude, I've had a gentleman sitting right where you're sitting named Parker McCollum.
Yeah.
And I said, just throw me a list of your favorite artists. Eminem, Lil Wayne, Biggie. Yeah. I mean, that's my boy. Yeah. And like he's sing, like, you gotta love it, man.
I know.
You gotta love it. It's awesome.
Well, and that, you know, it's funny. Like at my shows, we play Y'all Life, and Nelly's a writer on that, and we go into Down Down Baby, and it's crazy. That's kind of like. That's one of the loudest things my fans sing. You know, we'll have 10,000 people. They'll know everywhere. Yeah, you can find me in St. Louis, rolling on dubs, smoking on dubs. And I'm like, y'all can't say you don't like rap. Like, you just got down. When I sing High Heels on the Beach, I'm like, hey, it's Flo Rida. And I just go, apple bottom jean. And everybody, you know, I don't have to sing anything else. They go, low, low, low. You know, they go. And I noticed that immediately playing country clubs. Like, when you know, you start you out, you kind of go on these club tours, and it'd be funny. Like, I'd play these new country songs, you know, that nobody knew. And then as soon as I took a break, they'd be like, 15-minute break, you know, and it'd be like, to the window. And I was like, all these people, you're supposed to hate this stuff. Like, these are the people that's supposed to hate it. But I'd be in Denton, Texas, to the wall, you know, and I was like, okay.
They love it.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I'm like, hey, don't lie about it. Just like it. You know, if you like it, you be loud, you know.
Embrace it, man.
Exactly.
Just embrace it.
Yeah.
What 2022, is that when you decided to go sober?
No.
What year was it?
Man, y'all, I'll need some help from the audience here. No, it's 10. I'm 10 years sober. So what let's do some quick math. 2015.
So 2015 you decided, because I want to hit on your drink. I want everybody to understand.
Yes.
You've got
I'm not drinking an Outlaw. Outlaw did a great job though, branding. I love the logo.
Oh, it's a great logo.
It's sick. This is an NA called Fancy Like. And it's my own non-alcoholic beer. It's awesome. The can looks like something we would have found in the woods as kids. It's amazing. It's got a little red, white, and blue on it, and it's awesome. It's very delicious. It's classic, just pale lager. That's it. No frills. Absolutely, just classic. I mean, it tastes like the first beer you ever tasted in your life, which I thought the NA community was missing. You know, you had a lot of IPAs, this and that. I'm not a craft beer guy. I want American summer in a glass, all 4 seasons. That's what I want. Bonfire.
I'm with you. I mean,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Something
Same
you just
color.
Crush. Yeah.
So it's been 10 years sober.
10 years sober. Amazing.
Dude,
never would have thought I could not drink. Yeah. Crazy.
Cheers. I mean, because are we coming up on the day? Like
October. I don't know
Okay.
the day. It was one of those like just quit things, and cold turkey. Quit everything. Quit smokeless tobacco. Quit alcohol. Hadn't smoked weed. Yeah, nothing. Not even California sober or whatever they call it. Yeah. Crazy. I mean, just bam, all God, insanity. Yeah.
I think that's something to be said too, especially as you continue on the career that you're on. I mean, shit, Walker, how many days a week are you gone? Like, this is you are in an industry where it's like there's a lot of people, especially these new coming country musicians, that are just partying every single night.
It catches up to you, and I think maybe you tell me, maybe the music industry is unique in this, but there's just a lot of reasons to drink. You know, as a starving artist, you're either drinking because you're depressed or you finished a good one, you know, with your buddies. I remember, 10 or 12 years ago when I was drinking, I mean, I'd have a handle of vodka and some Sprite, in a room, and I'd be surrounded by friends, and nobody would say, it's 11 a.m. You just did, just drank all day, and then you went home, drank all night. And that's just what I did, that's just, and I started early. I mean, I started really young, when I was just kind of developing, as a kid, and it met me when all that like adolescent anxiety, childhood pressure is hitting you. So it remedied a lot of that. You don't want to talk to a girl, have a couple beers. What's up, girl? All of a sudden I'm funny and bold. And I was like, okay, I like that guy a lot more than shy Walker. Luke Skywalker.
And then the girl's looking at you and like, it's one of those scenes where you think you sound like the dude.
I know.
You're spitting game, and she probably can't even understand a word.
Yeah. But in my mind, it's
Luke Skywalker.
But
great.
it hit me at a dangerous place where I latched onto it, and that carried me through college. It carried me through stage fright. I remember it was scary 10 years ago when I quit and got on stage. I remember my first show was at a place called Gray's on Main in Franklin, and man, I've never been more frightened. I was like, oh my goodness, dude, I am 30-something. My fingers don't work. I know I can sing, but my voice won't do what I want it to do, right now. And then I literally I'd strum the end of a chord, and I'd be like, oh man, my body is literally trained to grab a drink, that's when it's funny, after I quit is when I began to realize, wow, I knew I had a problem, but I was enlightened on how dark that problem was, after when I became sober. Yeah, it was crazy.
Dude, I appreciate you opening up to that. I bet you, I couldn't even tell you how many artists right now could go and play a
sober
stage sober.
I know. That's a true statement that no one, by the way, that's such a great, I'm glad you said that. I've just never heard anybody say that, but that's a sad thing, is that there's a lot
and that's okay.
It is. I'm not judging
because this probably is a remedy. Is that I'm using it to going out on stage to play. That is fucking unbelievable. Like when you actually think about that, there's probably not many musicians that can go out there and do it sober.
All right. They would be scared to death. Yeah. I know. But they could. They just don't know.
Yeah, they just don't know.
They could. And as a matter of fact, I have come to love all those feelings that you get. My kids are always like, when they ask me about like, this is scary, Dad, or that's like walking out to a hunt stand. I got some sons who were like, it's dark, and I'm like, yeah, I know. You hear that thing in your imagination, whatever animal that is gets bigger and bigger. It's probably like a armadillo, or whatever. But like, you're like, it's a buck and it's after me, but
there's nothing like sitting in the deer stand and it's a squirrel behind you.
Oh
and
my gosh,
you're starting to shake.
Dude, I've had I was almost asleep one day in one of those big old bumblebee, when it's next to your ear, it's like, and I was like, messed up my whole hunt. I'd been still for hours, but yeah, my kids talk to me about fear, and I remind them, I'm like, hey, I'm Dad, and I'm scared. Like when I see 10,000 people at Red Rocks, I'm scared. And it's a good scare. If I wasn't scared, there'd probably be something wrong with me, But I'm like, it's a balance. It's excitement and fear. It's like football, man, or basketball. Growing up, like they start playing the dun 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 dun. You're like, oh, I'm scared, but I also want to do it, And that's the sad thing to me is anybody who can't play a show. I would love for them to have the joy of experiencing all that and conquering it, because it's awesome. It's good. You don't need it. You'll be just fine. You might actually perform better, if you just give it time. I was always afraid, which my history didn't tell me that I was a great writer drunk, but I was always like, man, I don't know what I'll write if I'm not hammered. I had no idea how I would perform as a writer. And I did fine. Obviously did okay. So yeah, anybody who's struggling with that, I'd encourage them to try a sober show. See what it's like, man.
Dude, that gives me, that's good for you. You've written a book.
Yes,
before, right?
I have a book.
Because I was about to say, everything that we've talked about today, it's like, man, you have an unbelievable story. And it's like, because you wrote a book. Maybe that's what was in 2022 that I saw.
I wrote a book with my best friend Craig, who introduced me to Jesus. Yeah. He is my best friend, like more than a brother to me. But he met him at a church, probably about 12 years ago. Craig and I were very unlikely candidates to be best buddies. He was a kind of a bivocational pastor. I was an atheist at the time. My wife dragged me to this church, and he shook my hand and said, "Glad you're here." First night we went, I went in hammered, and long story short, a couple years later, Craig, basically him and his wife gifted us a van. He knew that my wife and I had one car, and everywhere we drove, if a cop came up, he knew that my kids would dive down into the floorboard to hide because we didn't have enough seat belts for 6 kids and 2 adults. And so he showed up at one of my son's baseball games one night and had the keys and the title to his van, and he just gave it to us. And it was crazy. I had never had any. Well, I honestly wasn't very happy about it. I was a little bit embarrassed. I was pretty angry that he would put me on the spot like that. I was at least like, hey, couldn't we have done this at Panera or something, like just me and you? Like, why'd you have to do this in front of everybody? The whole team is watching, like, hey, Walker's getting a handout, yay, and I'm like, I don't want to be this guy, And finally, my daughter was like, Dad, just take the car. But man, I love Craig very, very much, and his love, for us was confusing. I had never known a family that would sit and pray about giving another family a vehicle, much less a family like ours. Not a family that America would have looked up to at that point. This is pre-Fancy Like. So this is poor, always pregnant, house is a mess, driving around in a Honda with a donut guy who works at Costco, but is still writing songs. And so just didn't make sense to me why they were so drawn to us. They had nothing to gain. As a matter of fact, they had much to sacrifice to keep us on our feet. And so that bewildered me. Didn't understand that. But eventually, led me to the Lord. I understand that was Christ loving on us through Craig. And we don't have that van anymore, but he got us through some tough times. And over COVID, we started that book. We were probably on chapter 5 when Fancy Like came out. And then we finished it, and now it's an awesome, it's basically like a layup that God gave me to just share what really matters to me. So yeah, Glad You're Here is what it's called.
Dude, you have an unbelievable story.
It's crazy. And that's just a high
like
point,
we could sit here and talk for I'm like pumped that you're like, seriously, you have a beautiful story. You really do.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Pat.
What's next for Walker? I want to talk about
Duck Buck Co.
Duck Buck?
Obsessed. Buck Co. I'm obsessed with it. My kids, we love all outdoor things. I've got a song called Country Stuff. I doodled one day. I doodled a duck with antlers.
I'd like for everybody to know he has a bunch of songs coming out that they have yet to let me listen to. So just be prepared for Walker Hayes to release new songs, and I'll let you know when it happens. But
the clothes are awesome, man. For lack of a better term, I call them athleisure. They're comfortable. I wear them to church. I wear them to shows. This is my favorite hat on the planet. I'll hook you up. And then we got pants. The biggest seller in the first go round was the girls' legging. They're pretty amazing. They got the duck buck on the back, and they're just very comfortable, man. Super soft. Got a lot of new styles coming out with each season, and thrilled. When I see, like, if I go to my kid's basketball game and I see people, it's pretty nuts. Yeah, to be like, dude, you're wearing my stuff. That's awesome. Yeah. So
remind me again, you said that the idea came from
honestly, we were looking for, just being 100% transparent here, hate clothes, don't care. Like, get dressed in the dark every day, never look. My wife makes fun of me. I hate clothes. I'm still wearing ankle socks. I haven't gotten on the cool thing, whatever. Even though we do have duck buck socks with the duck, I should be wearing those. But I hate fashion. That's when my least favorite thing about becoming famous is having to have a stylist and get dressed up for stuff. And so I wanted to create a line that looked cool but felt even more awesome. And for just everybody. And so, yeah, it's very casual. A lot of hoodies, a lot of soft textures. Very simple, like minimal designs. You get the duck buck sometimes.
Who came up with the logo?
I drew that one day. We actually remember when it was called NFTs. Yeah. Those were popular. I drew one for Country Stuff, the song, and it was just a duck with antlers, like a jackalope.
And you're hunting and fishing with a bunch of your kids now.
Always, yeah. We bow. Our favorite thing is bow hunting. Turkey season coming up, so we're practicing our calls and all kinds of stuff like that. But yeah, bow. We bow hunt. I got a Hoyt. That's my jam. They hook me up. And Taylor's Archery, Tullahoma. Let's go. Go get your tune up. But yeah, dude, we just love outdoors. My father-in-law has land in Alabama. That's where we do most of our hunting. And now the kids just kind of started fishing. Actually, yesterday they hit up some new lures in Walmart that they can go lose. But and then occasionally snapper fishing. That's not my jam, but that's my father-in-law. He loves that stuff, so we'll go every once in a while.
I'm gonna tell you how good I am at my job.
Okay.
And it's gonna circle back on my number one attribute to Walker Hayes is the family man that you are.
Okay.
Fancy like the song, your daughter, we gotta do the dance, Dad. We gotta do the dance. Taking the van.
Yeah.
When you didn't want to, your kids told you that.
Yeah.
Your kids on the clothing brand. Your kids make an impact on your life
100%.
every single day. And you don't do anything without, like, your kids' permit. Like, you don't, and I know you see it, but I'm trying to make it very clear. Like, that is a huge thing about you. That's unbelievable.
I appreciate you saying
that. Isn't that cool? Like,
that's very cool.
I've listened to you. I'm very intuitive, and it's like, you have yet to give me an answer that, well, my kid and my daughter and then my son, like, that's cool.
Good. No, that's awesome. and I'm glad that my love for them is reflected in my life and my career. Cause honestly, I would give it all up, for them in an instant. And I want to do the dad thing right. The dad thing is important. I can't really explain, the science of it, but my dad's relationship, mine and his, was real rocky, and praise God, it got good at the end, and I'm forever grateful that it did. But as a man, there's something in there, of what that figure meant to me, and it wasn't necessarily anything or didn't do. It's just how his presence felt. Even if he was a phone call away, knowing that he was here was way different than him being gone. And then him being gone makes you go, one day I'm mad at him for something he did, and then the next day I'm grateful, and then one day I'm pissed that I'm like him, and then the next day I'm glad I'm like him. And it's just wild to me that as a grown man, I thought I'd be done being a kid in that sense, but I'm not sure you ever are. You know what I mean? And so I try my best to be as present as I can with my kids. I am not a perfect father by any means, but I feel like them knowing I'm there is 90% of the whole thing somehow. At least they'll get old and go, dude was there. He took us on the road. He did that dance with me. Played Rocket League. He sucked, but he played, and hopefully that will be meaningful, when I'm gone.
Before we wrap up, music-wise, anything? I mean, we've got the Brad Paisley tour. Yeah. You've got some new music coming out. We don't know when yet, but, it's coming.
Not going to lie, man. I swear, I think anybody that knows me, I'm always, my favorite song is the one I'm working on now. I don't care about the one I turned in anymore, I apologize to my managers all the time because they want me to be excited about last week, but I don't care. And my writing's real schizophrenic. There's no common thread to 5 songs in a row. I mean, I think last week I had a 6-song week, and I love them all equally, and they're all different. And so the new music, I love them all. There's one called 17-Year-Old Problems I'm jacked about. There's one called Neon Lights. There's one called Pocket Knife.
What's that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Pocket Knife.
It's about childhood stuff. It's like a song to my mom, and it says, "Mama, I still keep my mobile life in my pocket like a pocket knife. Take it out every once in a smile. Whittle on a memory for a little while. Thank God the shit that went wrong taught me how to write a country song. Ain't it funny how childhood trauma cuts you deep and sharpens you, don't it, mama? It's pretty badass. Yeah. And then we got a song called Mother that's about seeing a girl, you know, that you used to date or hook up with be a mom and be like, man, seeing you hurts like a mother. Always knew you'd be a real good mother. And it hits. It's like, it slaps. Like the 808 on that's going to piss a lot of people off. And then, but just, man, just good stuff. I think 17-Year-Old Problems is kind of my favorite. It's just kind of, it has a lot of reflection on some of the things like memorizing your fake ID or trying to pass a class, you know, and it's like, man, those problems sound awesome now, you know, from at the age I am now, I'm like, those were awesome problems compared to the ones that we have now. So I think that's a deeper song. I'm trying to think of anything else worthy of mentioning, but dude, always writing songs that I can't wait to put out. So yeah.
And you, for the most part, and correct me if I'm wrong, like the music that Walker Hayes puts out, you have at least co-written on.
Oh yeah. I would cut it. I mean, I have so much respect for the Nashville songwriting game
that you would cut a song.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think at some point I should do an album out of respect and love for the writers in Nashville. I would love to do just an all outside project. I mean, there are so many great songs out there. And writers that are so much better than me. So yeah.
I think the talent that's here in this city, to your point, like the songwriters that never get cut.
It's wild. I know. And
the archives that you could
honestly,
find.
You could build a business on that if people would stay attentive and listen. But yeah, I mean, there's the best. I've discussed with people who are kind of L.A. or New York snobs. I mean, they'll admit Nashville is pretty hard to beat. You know, talent for talent, the songwriting here. And I agree. I mean, it's bonkers.
I mean, look, you've been all around this country. I think whether it's business-wise, personal-wise, whatever, this town that we're sitting in right now, I mean, it's
up there.
It's booming.
Yeah.
I mean, talent is moving in from New York to L.A. to Dallas. Everybody's moving here to Nashville. It's cool to see.
It is. It's awesome. It's changed a lot since 2004, and like you said, I think the rate in which it changes, it just gets faster and faster. So I'm good with it, though. I live an hour and a half out. So even if I wasn't, as long as they get an In-N-Out burger, I'll come back.
This is why I love you, because you had in my mind.
Were you going there?
Dude, I've been dating a girl for so long out of Los Angeles, the love of my life, and we have an argument every night. I took her to Steak and Shake the other night. Because that's what we have. Like, we have, like, Steak and Shake, Five Guys, maybe a few others. Anyway, she loves In-N-Out.
Yeah.
In-N-Out, not that this is anything new, so it's not like I'm breaking this news. I wish I was on this show. Is moving from California to Franklin, Tennessee.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're moving to Franklin, Tennessee,
the
whole
HQ. Headquarters.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, so you did not know that?
This is breaking news
to me. Okay, good. So maybe,
Wow.
Yeah, they're moving here to Franklin, Tennessee, 2026, I think. And
wow.
They already have a list of In-N-Outs on the East Coast, 5 of them being here in Tennessee, but I'd love it to obviously move down to Florida. But
dude, 2 double-doubles.
Dude, are you going Animal Style?
I go crispy fried. No, I don't. Is that Animal?
Animal Styles with the stuff on the fries? You go.
No, I get overcooked fried, like Crispies.
Yeah, that's what she gets,
2
man.
Crispies, and I just get double-doubles with the stuff, you know. And I get a unsweet tea with some half lemonade. You fix it yourself, but. Dude, In-N-Out's insanity. Hot take here, though. I like Checkers better. And there's not a lot
I like
of
Checkers fries better.
It's the fries.
Yeah.
I wish they would get married and switch the fries. I do like the In-N-Out fries. They're just not Checkers fries.
I hate them.
What, you hate the In-N-Out fries?
I hate them.
Oh, shoot.
Their burger's unbelievable.
You still, yeah.
But Steak and Shake has really good fries. What's RFK doing? Junior, I think they're cooking the fries in bone marrow now. This is like the Make America Healthy Again stuff. Like, it's like this new thing. Anyways, they got the shoestring fries, man. I'm a big shoestring fry guy.
You like Sonic fries? Like the curly? Rough? Yeah, I like
but
those.
Checkers, all right, this is
Checkers
good. Hot
fries
take.
is insane.
Fast food chains when it comes to fries, McDonald's is number one. If you got to go McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King, how are you
If you want
ranking
to
them?
pick the fry that will live the longest under your seat, you will go McDonald's. That joker will be yellow as Ronald McDonald's outfit.
McDonald's, Burger King, or Wendy's? Which one? Go rank them.
Just fries? Yeah. I'd say McDonald's fries is better than those two.
What about all around?
I'm gonna go Checkers, and then what?
McDonald's,
just those three.
Wendy's, and Burger King. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Wendy's. Frosty dipping everything in that joker, Baconator, and I'll probably go McDonald's second. Quarter Pounder is like one of the greatest sandwiches known to man, and then I'd go Burger King. I don't hate Burger King.
No, I'm with you.
I'm all for it. It's just if those three are sitting next to each other, that's what I'm going. If there's an Arby's, though, I'm getting Arby's fries.
Dude, Arby's, the beef and cheddar, like, it's the most underrated fast food joint out there.
I agree. And they got the sandwiches for health. You know, if you're like my wife gets those, the Market Fresh, whatever. I just love fast food in general, bro. Right here, what's your number one? What's your number one fast food of all time? Over anything.
God, I love this guy.
Do you want me to show you how it's done?
I'm gonna go Zaxby's.
Oh, had that on Sunday after church, and I was reminded
How good it was.
we did 2 boxes. It was so good. Chicken's kind of rubbery, and I like the texture of it.
You got to do a little extra seasoning on the fries.
Yeah.
Oh, and they have the little ice cubed ice.
Number one. I'm gonna say easy, hands down. We'll be eating it tonight in my hotel room and tomorrow in bed. Taco Bell. 1,000%.
Dude, that is a great one.
Dude.
You're going to Texas tonight.
Yeah, and I'll get Taco Bell. Won't
Texas.
get Whataburger.
Yeah.
I like it. Got food poisoning there one time, so it's tough to go back. But Taco Bell.
Taco Bell is so good.
2 cheesy gorditas, 2 quesadillas, Baja Blast. I mean, I wake up with cheese all over the bed the next morning.
It's the best feeling, too.
It's a party.
You didn't say, do you like Chick-fil-A?
I do love chicken. We go on dates there all the time, contrary to the fancy like song. But yeah, my wife and I love Chick-fil-A. I'm a 4 strips chicken sandwich guy. Do the lemonade, and then I like the fries there. I don't like the end fry though. With the round, nah, it's too much. It's too much potato. What sauce do you get? What, you Chick-fil-A guy?
I love Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
The Chick-fil-A sauce is good. Dude, I've become, as I get older, I'm trying to watch my fit and beach season coming up. I'm not like a big sauce guy, to be honest with you. Like, if it's good food, like, I can eat it straight up. I love Zaxby's sauce. I'll bathe in Zaxby's sauce, but
that's Chick-fil-A honey mustard for me. I like that. I'll swim in that nude.
This is good. So what are your? I love this.
Yeah.
See, this is. So
I could talk, dude. Fast. I'm telling you.
I'm going to switch it up a little bit, and then we'll wrap it up. I promise.
No.
When you think about,
I'm having a great time.
You see this American kind of wave coming over the country right now, and it's a shame that a place like Hooters
is
going bankrupt.
Yeah.
But were you ever a Hooters guy? Because I love, like, if you were going to go get a chicken wing, like, there's nothing like a Hooters chicken wing, and, like, I would love to.
Hooters, I guess Hooters became a thing. I'm older than you. Hooters was like I guess if my dad probably ever went to Hooters, he didn't want people to see his car there. It was like that. It was almost like a titty bar. Like
it's almost like, it's kind of like Ozempic. Like, people do it, but they don't want other people to let you know that they do it. I got you.
And so for me, I guess that trickled out where I was like, I don't want my wife looking at my credit card bill and being like, I've been crushing Hooters. You know, I think I went to Hooters twice in my life, and actually I had raw oysters from a Hooters one time, and I didn't get sick. But
their seafood's good. I like the shrimp. The shrimp at Hooters is good.
But what happened to it? Went down?
It's going down.
Okay.
But my plan is, and there's a good group that I think I can rally behind. You know, John Daly just came on the show a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Love JD. He, believe it or not, he's like a father figure to me, John
Really?
Daly. Love him. You've got people like Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, that are all big Hooters fans. So if I can get a small enough group, close down the ones that you have to close down to get out of BK. Mm-hmm. Keep some that you need to in Florida.
Yeah.
Keep them in Arizona if those, you know, that plan for the Phoenix Suns, if they want to keep them in Arizona. But that's a restaurant that I think is coming into a new world of, I think you can thrive in this business now. I really do.
I mean, as a dad, I'm like, would I go to visit my daughter? I probably, you know, I guess I would. I mean, I'd be like, hey, you working today? Or, you know, I'll come visit, you know. But there'd be a part of me that
Walker's
would just
throwing the dad thing on me.
No,
He's
I'm
right.
just
like,
saying.
If my daughter worked there, you're right. You got me.
I don't know. And I'm saying, hey, okay, what would you call the male version of Hooters? Like testiculars or doinkers, or I don't know. What would you call boners?
Boners.
If
yeah,
your
we're
wife,
going down to boners.
If you went in your wife's bills and you were like, honey, what's this check for boners? What did you tipped this guy a lot, you know? And she was like, no, the wings are great at boners. You'd be like,
you're right.
You'd be like, stop going to boners, you know?
No, you're right. You got me.
So
you're spot on.
I don't know. I just feel like, you know.
You win.
What if your son worked at boners?
That's true. You're spot on. I mean, I was just hoping that I could get Hooters to maybe stay for a few more years. Walker had other plans, and dude, I cannot.
Now I know what clip is going to advertise this talk. Of all the great stuff we've talked about, it's just going to be me and you going, would you go to boners?
You hit it right on the head, though.
Yeah.
Like, it was a time where people were, like, skeptical, like, is somebody going to see me sitting in Hooters? And
I know.
Unfortunately, they got that.
You saw your preacher's car. You're like, Dr. Gunnels? Is that Hooters? You were at Hooters? You're going to preach to me on Sunday? Yeah. About my language? When you were at Hooters? Rest in peace, Dr. Gunnels, by the way. You would never see him at Hooters.
Dude, I can't tell you how, like, much fun I've had today.
Good. Me too, man. Me too. I mean it.
And the fact that and this is a really cool thing for you. I'm telling you, you could walk out here and the fancy light and everybody. I mean, once again, and we'll turn off the cameras. I'm gonna tell you because I know. I mean, every time you turn on the damn TV, there for a while it was playing.
It was crazy. Yeah.
So that
was fun.
Just getting to know like who you really are, like that's cool.
What is your am I different than you? I never ask people that. Like, from the outside, what you see, does anything shock you? You're like,
No, you want the truth?
Yeah.
So when you look at that type of song and the genre that it gets classified in, it would seem like you were a pop guy that decided to do a song to be relevant at the time. Because that is what was and what is relevant. Dude, you want to talk about, number one, everybody continues to think that like Florida Georgia Line started this pop country. Luke Bryan, who I love, really changed the genre, if you're going to ask me, because he's been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
So I would say
Sam
like,
Hunt.
correct, Sam.
Good God.
So I would say that you were just a guy that put out a song to stay relevant. Dude, that's your order at Applebee's. Your daughter convinced you to do a dance. Like, that's who you are. Mm-hmm. There's nothing fake about that song, and that's the coolest thing about it.
Oh, man. That's great to
like,
hear.
That is so cool that, like, no, this is actually my order at Applebee's. I wrote the song, at least co-wrote it, and then that dance that you saw literally all over the internet.
It was just us on a Sunday, man.
Just doing it.
It was literally my daughter who said, Fancy Like needs a dance.
Like,
And
you're not
it.
afraid to talk about, you've lost a child, you have become sober, you've been as broke as it gets, you've had 6 children, like you've faced adversity every single day, and you come in here and you talk to me with a smile on your face, and you didn't know me from Adam, and now, I mean, I love you, I really do. And like, that's something that I love. This is the favorite part about my job. That's why I do
think
it.
One day we do need to reverse the roles, though, because with a few things you said, I would like to talk about your childhood.
Dude, I have. It's a cool story, man. I'm a mama's boy back home. She's my best friend, and like, to where we're at today is crazy. But this is what I enjoy doing. What?
She single mommed it.
Single mommed it with 3 boys after burying her oldest daughter.
How did she die?
Just at a young age, had a bad heart.
She was the oldest.
She was the oldest, born in '88. Then had 3 boys right after that. Man,
she buried her daughter by herself.
By herself? No, she was married at the time. Buried her daughter. Had 3 boys, and you look. This is not me shaming my dad. My dad listens to every single podcast. Yeah. So, Pops, I love you. But, he did leave, and she was a single mom for a long time. And she's a farmer. Like, she runs the whole family operation. Yeah. So to be a farmer, which, as we all know in this room, is like the worst, most underlooked, underrated, underappreciated job in the world, unfortunately. And you raise 3 boys by yourself who now have become what I'm doing, and my other 2 brothers are working on the farm. Like, it's a cool...
You gotta be proud.
Dude, like little 5'2" redhead, fiery little thing.
Awesome.
Dude, she's awesome.
That's awesome.
Complete badass. But
you have a lot to share.
I appreciate
I'm sure
that,
you've
man.
Shared it.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So I just love doing this, and it's really cool to see you like kind of open up, and you're not shy about anything, and that's
Dude,
cool.
We are blessed, 100%. That Fancy Like song was miraculous, and yeah, I'm grateful.
And it's also cool to see, like, dude, it's Fancy Like, obviously, like I said, the trajectory after that was unbelievable, but you have way more to offer than your order at Applebee's. And I'm glad to talk about it.
Bro.
And I'm excited to see what's to come, man, because it's just cool.
Awesome.
So
we'll have to meet again down the road.
Maybe at Red Rocks.
Bro, come on out. Show the ropes.
I appreciate you coming on the show today, man. Seriously. And as always, I appreciate y'all tuning in every single Wednesday on YouTube or wherever you listen to your audio podcast. Continue to like, comment, share, subscribe. Do whatever you got to do to be like a farmer.